Welcome back, friends. This is the last session associated with execution of creativity, and after discussing the objectives related to message strategy, now we are moving towards message tone. One example which will justify the preceding discussion, and then we will go for creativity execution in case of print to emphasize upon that, because it is a very strong part of our lives, very important part of our lives, and then that can be linked up to several kinds of things basically, and then further we would be talking of other modes of integrated marketing communication in due course of time, for example sales promotion in the subsequent discussions. So, here we go. This this element of message tone is related to affecting the way advertising copy or script is written, actually the way people feel about an ad and the relationship that the ad creates with consumers. So, you see they commonly say that what is the tone of the message. You see, when you write something to a friend through a mail, the tone of the message. So, that is precisely what you imply as far as the tone of the message goes, and it can be upbeat, energetic, wholesome, light-hearted, helpful, clinical, angry, dreary, sad, and there can be so many things basically. You see, vocabulary can be similar, but tone can change the effect of the vocabulary. You can make it casual, you can make it very formal, the same sentence, and that is what the intelligent creators they use as far as when they want to project advertisements. Then there is an element of production and design decisions, which includes decisions on aspects such as color, design, layout, type selection, sound, lighting, casting, location, staging, etc. You see, the narrative, the storyboard. Remember one very important advertisement wherein Mr. Akshay Kumar was picturized while he was comparing the hygiene for women with the smoking by their male counterparts. So, that was a very successful campaign, and it generated lots of discussion also, because hygiene and health of women is very important, which many a times people have not been realizing, and it directly affects not only the health of the subsequent future families, the current family, also the whole life of the women actually. So and I can go on and on with this discussion for a long time, but this is what, and then as far as the layout and these kind of things go, we will be definitely referring to those when I would be talking about this print element or creative strategy execution or creativity execution in terms of print. Now, let us take one example, Fevicol case. It is one of the most interesting kind of campaigns in the field of integrated marketing communication. We all know the parent company of Fevicol is Pidilite Industries Limited, and you see, advertising campaigns of Fevicol shifted the entire brand of a low involvement category, means it was seen as an adhesive, that is all. Now, becoming an adhesive of choice, wherein customer knows all the adhesives more or less with this kind of a name, and no offense to other adhesives, but this is how this brand value of Fevicol has come up. You see, you talk to someone, you generally go to a shop, and then when you refer to these kind of adhesives, you talk about Fevicol. So brand name has become synonymous with the product, and that is what this kind of a campaign has done. So, this low involvement category brand converted into that enjoys recall and equity to a larger level, and Ogilvy is the organization which is their integrated marketing communication partner for creative aspects, and they won 99 awards as found through reliable sources, and the taglines were "Dam laga ke Haisha," and that campaign was actually one of the initial most campaigns basically, wherein elephant was picturized, and the bond of Fevicol was suggested. So that was a very kind of eye catching and memorable kind of. Then Zor Laga Ke Haisha was also a very strong campaign which worked very well, and then the sequence came in. पकड़े रहना छोड़ना नहीं, फेविकॉल का मजबूत जोड़ है टूटेगा नहीं. Now you see the bond created by Fevicol would never break. And recently you might have seen, and I would be referring to, but recently in COVID period Fevicol came up with a campaign wherein they used Fevicol to kind of join chairs and tables to each other so that people can't sit on those chairs in restaurants. So you see in this social distancing era, we want people to sit slightly far away from each other. So Fevicol utilized this kind of thing, and they put up a marker there that this is Fevicol is used here. People couldn't notice that, somehow they picturized that on camera, and then that came up as a very beautiful campaign. Watch it on YouTube and you would realize that this is how they have been capitalizing upon their strength to support the social cause as well. And we have just referred to social cause and those kind of things as objectives also. So you see, famous advertisements of Fevicol, first advertising was by Mr. Piyush Pandey on Dam Laga Ke Haisha theme, and then this hen and egg advertisement actually invited lots of attention, and wherein egg this cook is unable to break the egg while preparing the omelette, while because the hen was actually feeding herself from a empty Fevicol tumbler basically. So that logic kind of beautiful kind of storyboard. Then this rickety bus advertisement, so carrying Fevicol banner at the back. So that was again and this Mooch Wali campaign was very exciting, wherein in a play this girl gets moustache stuck up on her upper lip and so on. And this sofa advertisement is slightly longer in length, but it is wonderful. It takes you through different cultures of India, through different households, through different levels, and says that after so many passing through so much of turmoil, when this newlywed couple, they are gifted a sofa by their parents, and then they somehow sell it somewhere, or someone purchases it in an auction, and then it goes to a different kind of a town and a place, and then somehow it is thrown away. You see, it passes on through so many stages, but somehow it remains intact, and that is a wonderful narrative, that how Fevicol actually lives by whatever jerks you may take that sofa through. So मजबूती का जोड़ है मजबूत 2020 campaign. So that is when and you see, the idea behind the advertisements have been very simple and straightforward, that Fevicol ऐसा जोड़ लगाएगा अच्छे से अच्छा ना तोड़ पाएगा. That means whatever kind of efforts you would put in breaking the joints created by Fevicol, you would not be able to break it. And the most important, you watch 6, 7, 8 advertisements related to if it would not be a copyright kind of or IP kind of an issue with displaying such kind of advertisements through this media. So I definitely would have played those for you, but you can do it by yourself. You can just go to the platforms and click on those advertisements and campaigns and find that you start from the beginning and you go on till today. You would realize that this simple theme has been pursued through so many aspects all through, and in the meanwhile you start imagining that how it has entered into our households, in our lives, in different size of packings, large tumblers while you get your house painted, or let us say for other purposes, small tubes on your study table as well. So several kinds of packings for several kinds of purposes, the same kind of a product for several kinds of usage. It has become the part of our lives, and that is what this campaign did to Fevicol. I think it is almost 3 decades or so when these things have come through, and it has done exceptionally well. So, you see, as Mr. Bharat Puri, the managing director of Pidilite Industries, say that Fevicol's journey is characterized by 2 things: unbreakable bond, that is atut rishta. So, that is the positioning actually that they want to pursue, and lots of innovation. Innovation in usage, innovation in perspective, and we have referred to that earlier. You see, elements in advertising in this particular campaign of Fevicol are humor and innovation, and they have given them repeated value without a fatigue factor. So, and that is how it has stabilized itself as a product. Its consumer engagement initiatives such as free store, Fevicol room at Lal Bagh Cha Raja. Lal Bagh Cha Raja is about Ganesh ji, when kind of Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated in Maharashtra. So, there they have associated that with that large festival which is very passionately celebrated in Maharashtra. Kumbh Mela activities and Fevicol runners at Mumbai Marathon are good examples of extended communication programs and so on. So, they have associated themselves with several kinds of such events, and they have gained attention as well, and then people have regarded them in due course of time. Now, I would be moving on to creativity execution in print, and let us see elements of print advertising. So, as I said, when we were talking of message tone, we mentioned this word layout. So, let us witness how these elements of print advertising are related to as far as creative execution, creativity strategy execution. So, you see, layout is a sort of a blueprint to position and size, to bring in the elements of print like headline, body copy, visual, tagline, signature, etc. When we say that this is the layout of this advertisement, wherein you see, many a times you would have realized that, and David Ogilvy has also talked about that headlines are the most important element of a layout. You would stick with the advertisement or stick with the message if headline catches your eyes, if it rings a bell. So, you see, for example, David Ogilvy says that on the average 5 times as many people read the headlines as read the as they read the body copy actually. And it follows that unless your headline sells your product, you have wasted 90% of your money. That is what David Ogilvy expresses. Definitely he would have gone through lots of experience and research in due course of time. So, that is where headline becomes the most important, one of the most important parts of as far as layout goes. So, talking about the importance of headlines in a layout, there can be different types of headlines. One can be direct. At 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in this new Rolls Royce comes from the electric clock. You see, it is so quiet and so calm that only the electric clock actually clicks. So, you see, when you are putting up something on a print basically, and you know that you cannot generate sound out of it. So, you have to put up a line which actually creates an imagination in your mind, and that is what Rolls Royce tried to bring in, that its cabin is so calm and quiet, that the engine is so quiet, although it is a powerful vehicle. So, still you do not feel anything, and how to suggest that? You suggest that with this kind of headline, and then you start interestingly reading into the further lines which are related to this advertisement. Wordplay, for example, Dhoni takes the highway Mahi way kind of. Now again, highway Mahi way, this kind of a rhyming perspective associated with this kind of a headline. Then you can put up questions as well. Do you know if your shampoo has paraben? Or you can ask any direct question which actually gains attention. That means once you have put up a question there, a person reads that particular question, now person would like to have the answer there itself. So the reader would go, or the respondent and the consumer would go further into the details of that answer. Reason why kind of a thing basically when putting up a headline. 8 reasons why you should immediately change your phone, why you should not be doing this, why you should be doing this kind of. Sometimes you wonder why I should be changing my phone, and then there are 8 reasons. So definitely you would read into those kind of 8 reasons. So now heart to heart kind of an headline. No, you don't need to please everyone, and why you shouldn't even try. And that kind of a thing, because everyone is passing through this kind of a phase sometimes in their lives, wherein they you feel tired of pleasing everyone. You can't make everyone happy. Now this kind of a thing basically, you can't make everyone happy. Why you should be trying even to make everyone happy, and this kind of heart to heart kind of a thing basically. And these are general things basically, everyone passes through these kind of things. One fine morning you are passing, not precisely you, someone is passing through this kind of a feeling basically, and you read this kind of an advertisement, definitely it will gain your attention. So you see, then comes in the element of body copy. Headline has gained your attention now. 90% job has been done, as Mr. David Ogilvy says. And then comes the larger copy, main text of the advertisement, that is developed to corroborate a claim, provide explanation and recapitulate the evidence. And then once the headline has done its purpose, then there is a larger probability that people would go till end. And few examples of excellent body copies can be, this is an ad for men, hire more women in leadership roles, we are all worth it, L'Oreal Paris. Very interesting kind of a body, wherein and you see, this issue of women's role in workforce has been always discussed and talked about all around the world, and L'Oreal definitely resonates, their products, they do resonate with this kind of a thing as well. So putting up this thing definitely gains a larger attention from the side of the customer. And then a whole kind of a text, body text associated with autism. I would not read the complete text for you in this slide, it's up to you to pause it and read it, and you would realize that you see, gaining attention of people towards autism is not an easy job. Unfortunately, many people pass this phase of life basically, and many people are associated with such people. So it's a plight they understand, the problems they do understand, and to get people sensitively associated with these kind of things. So this body text which is written in front of you would definitely generate a thought process, and I assure you that you will start surfing for what autism is, how it happens, what to do in such cases, how to help those people, or how to make them happy or how to be happy with them. So that kind of a thing basically, and then drawing attention towards this kind of an aspect, this kind of an issue requires lots of effort, and that comes through words which one should keep on reading. And one beautiful campaign in which Jungle Sound Studios recorded 613 words and printed them as sound waves. This was one of the most watched advertisement or messages basically, and it's slightly longer in duration, but then they captured and then they utilized it for creating words out of those sound waves out of those but whatever they captured from there, and it's a beautiful kind of a campaign which actually makes you realize. But in print, this has to be expressed like words. So which are the words which you would be expressing when you capture those sounds actually? So it's a beautiful kind of a thing. Basically, watch on this actual clipping on YouTube, and then watch the prints of that. You would realize that what kind of an intelligence perspective they have utilized all through. Then comes in visuals. Of course, one of the most important parts of as far as the print layout goes, and this is the first element to be noticed in print. It grabs attention, conveys the message many a times. You do not have to write so much if you can create such kind of a visual. It is the artist's imagination, but definitely that connotes with whatever the message should say, and it is demonstrative by nature. It clarifies the claims as well and provides continuity for the campaign by using a unified visual technique in each of the advertisements and so on. You see, you can use it repeatedly and it will remain in your minds and so on. And there is there are several techniques, but a technique called visual path is employed that takes the viewer's gaze to a specific element, and two notable shapes are Z and F. Now, you put up something in a Z shape kind of, wherein your eyes start moving from one corner to the other corner, and then come down and then move right, and F definitely start moving from this right side to the left and then come down and then move left and right and then come back and go. So, that is how the formation is. This visual path is a technique which has been very useful in terms of creating copies or layouts, and there are several others also. So, you see, intelligent creators, they utilize so much of science and so much of understanding of behavior of humans for creating these kind of copies which reach to us. This morning I saw one of the advertisements, full page advertisements in a newspaper of Hero Motors, wherein they are talking of a complete black version of a motorbike recently which they have launched, and then they are calling it stealth version, I suppose. And then Mr. Virat Kohli is the person shown in that advertisement, and beautiful, it's a complete black, almost black page, and the black and white photograph of Mr. Kohli, and then the bike basically is black in color. So it's a beautiful kind of print layout. Watch it. Today it's 29th of October. So today's newspaper, if you can fetch it on somewhere in on net while I am talking about it, or some campaigns related to the same product later on, because you would be watching this video later on. So, but this you will realize that exactly what we have been talking about as far as the layout, the visual impact, and so on. So, we will be talking about Lucia, wherein his science and their school, they have been utilizing colors to talk about so many things, a perspective related to colors, and none of the organizations in the world has been left aside by this kind of thing to touch them and then to touch the lives of their consumers. Colors have been an integrated part of everything what we do in integrated marketing communication, and print layout, definitely print advertising definitely has been taking a very big advantage out of it. So, you see, colors can portray emotions. That is why you try to choose several kinds of shirts or apparels or pants or so specially focused when messages without words and complement the message in case of words actually. So, colors, they have a complementary role as well, although they can dominate the complete situation as well. For example, you put up colors on the font. So, you have a 5 alphabet word, and then you choose different colors to for every alphabet. So, that can also make sense if you want to go for some advertisement related to Holi, for example, which is a colorful festival in India. And many a times brands prefer their own colors to portray their image and personality. The famous case studies are Coca-Cola and Pepsi and so on, and several other, and McDonald's, Yellow M, and so on. So different kinds of organizations, they have been using different colors and forever now. And Lucia color psychology definitely has been an important contributor in everything. For example, blue, it talks about depth of feeling and passive, concentric, tranquility, calm, tenderness. These are the key words associated with blue color. I have not experienced passiveness associated with blue. Many people would have done, that is why they say that. But tranquility and concentricity and those kind of things definitely, can be experienced. Just watch the blue sky outside, so kind of as simple as just stare into the sky and you would realize that. And green talks about elasticity of will. So again, there are elements of defensiveness and persistence and self-esteem and assertion, pride, I do not know, but yes, definitely, because scientifically it has been projected. Red is related to force of will, aggression, competitiveness, action, desire, excitement. Yellow is spontaneity, projective, aspiring. McDonald's is projective, Coca-Cola is what? Force of will, aggressive, competitive. Violet, identification, charm, and brown is related to, it indicates body's condition, senses, and black can talk about nothingness, although the advertisement which I mentioned just now, as far as the stealth model of all black stealth model of hero, that does not talks about nothingness. So renunciation, no, stealth does not talks about renunciation also. So relinquishment, I do not know, but there can be exceptions. So you see, there is no debate on this, these are just elements to be discussed, and then you should not look at it as a paradox or a contradiction with black color used by Stealth and Hero Motors as an advertisement layout basically. So because black definitely on vehicles is very, very attractive. You see a black limousine coming in front of you, a black Mercedes SUV, beautiful shining black car, and that is how black stealth motorbike of Hero Motors, definitely it would make sense. So there are several meanings which are being associated with, and these meanings definitely, when Lucia talks about color psychology, that is more related to the preference of people for colors and which resonates with their personality types. So that is more associated with personification of human beings in their minds while being identified through the choices of their colors. So that is more of that. I do not know if that same personification can be exactly replicated in terms of product and product choices. So and as to ease my job, this the first line of this slide says that psychology of color is not that simple. Exactly what this is what I meant. I was confused between this Hero Motors advertisements and the black nothingness basically. So now this line actually talks about that. So now yellow can be associated with happiness, but also symbolizes paleness. No. McDonald's is happiness, of course. So you see, there are elements. Brown may be used for rugged appeal and stir appetite. Chocolate does that. So brown color on chocolate definitely makes sense. So but and you call it chocolate color, although I do not know. So and you see, success depends upon perceived appropriateness. Famous examples of color association with integrated marketing communication of several brands are related with, as I said, red with Coca-Cola, yellow with McDonald's, and blue with Tiffany's, Facebook, IBM, purple with Cadbury's, and colors by Google, several colors. So because Google says, or they think that they do not follow the rules as such, so they are open to almost everything. So that is how colors are one of the most important part of, as far as the layout goes. It makes all the sense. Typography, again a very important element, portrays the message in the words, visual appeal, how to bring it to remain in your eyes. It is related to complementarity to other elements, legibility of lettering, color of text also, which we have talked about, and You see, famous typeface used by companies, for example, Myraid by Apple, Clarendon used in WW1 for proclamations, and Avant-Garde used by Adidas. So, and there are several, I am not an expert on this, but this is how they have been using that effectively for several kinds of purposes. So, this is where I end this discussion on message, strategy, creative execution, or creativity execution I should say, with lots of thoughts in your minds. We have talked about creativity a lot. We started from understanding creativity. We reached to a stage wherein we started collating creativity with almost everything which we are seeing around us. Then we started focusing with the perspective of creativity in terms of integrated marketing communication, advertisement specially, and then we went ahead with executing creativity. And now we have reached to a situation wherein I leave it up to you how to experience that, how to get associated with creativity, how to look at integrated marketing communication, especially advertising, with a view of creativity. And as I said in the beginning of this sequence of creativity based discussions, that IMC is one of the most prominent elements of marketing mix, and creativity is the most important element of integrated marketing communication, especially advertising. So, thank you for bearing with me. I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.